especially for Michael Smith. I think Michael may have a different view on that, but we shall see. So one match down of the afternoon, another 3 to come. On to game 2 now, and it features the 2014 Lakeside runner-up, Alan Norris, who switched to the PDC only this year. He enjoyed a good debut at the Players' Championship finals yesterday, beating Terry Jenkins. His reward, a matchup with a 6th seed, A.Lewis. And he's been looking ahead to that one with Ned.
Right, well, for Alan Norris here, Chuck, this is a bit of a voyage into the unknown, isn't it? I mean, A.Lewis is a player we all know everything about, but you've never played him before.
No, all good. Never lost to him either. So
never lost to him, 100% record.
Yeah, 100% record against AD, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Challenge? I mean, obviously, he's a great player, isn't
Obviously, challenge. You know, he's 2-time world champion. He's no mug. So I've been saying, you know, if I can get my floor game, obviously I've been pretty decent on the floor this year, otherwise I wouldn't be here in the first place. Yeah. And it's just getting up onto the stage, you know, and yeah, we can give him a good game. Yeah.
Now listen, just chatting to you, you're a well-travelled man. You live in Scotland these days. You've spent time and you speak Spanish. You lived in Sweden for 8 years. You speak Swedish. But actually, having travelled the world, this is the part of the country where you come from originally.
Somerset born and bred.
Local man. Yeah. So you'll be hoping the crowd get behind you a little bit, yeah?
Well, yeah, they were pretty good yesterday, to be honest. So good support. Good support from back home. You know, all the boys in the crowd in the pub, they love it. So yeah, they always sending messages and that. They've got counties today. A lot of my friends up there, East Stirlingshire. So hopefully they win. So it'll be good. Absolutely.
And tell us about that match against Terry Jenkins yesterday, because by your own high standards, both of you, it was a little bit just falling over the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, basically, I mean, the averages weren't fantastic, but if you look at the statistics on the doubles, that was, you know, we were both terrible, to be honest. And you know, I bet Terry was probably more disappointed than me, because he played great last week in the World Series, and yeah, I was disappointed with my doubles, but you know, that was yesterday. So on to today.
Bring it on. Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he speaks 3 languages. A little bit disappointed that Ned conducted that one in English, but never mind. It was a big ask for Norris against the number 6 seed A.Lewis, but we've had some shocks in this tournament so far. Let's see whether we get one here. Over to John McDonald.
Thank you. Welcome back to the incredible action that's coming to you live on ITV Sport from Butlins, Minehead. The Professional Darts Corporation proudly present the second round action of the Cash Converters Players' Championship Finals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome back our players. Would you please welcome Alan Chuck Norris! The former Players' Championship champion and the 2-time back-to-back champion of the world, jackpot, A.Lewis.
Change for us in the commentary box now is Alan Warren a little, and good afternoon, John Rawling.
Good afternoon, Jackie. Good afternoon, everybody. And A.Lewis and Alan Norris. A.Lewis, a big betting favourite here. Jackpot seeded 6 for this one. world ranking number 5 and still a formidable competitor when he hits top gear. Former twice world champion and beat John Henderson 6-3, as you see there, to reach this stage of the competition. He's been working very hard at his game, trying to get back to the pinnacle that he attained a few years ago. Alan Norris, Chuck from Bowness near Falkirk up Edinburgh way, beat Terry Jenkins 6-3. Lakeside finalist of years gone by, won his first pro title in Dublin back in October, making his debut here and already making a good impression. What's your thoughts on this one, Alan?
Well, after the almost gladiatorial entrance from A.Lewis, looking at the first rounds from both players, you have to say A.Lewis, well, he's played better in the first round. That was a dodgy game, it really was, Alan Norris and Terry Jenkins, but from his point of view, he was just happy to get through to that second round, play a longer format, and maybe we might see a little bit more from Alan Norris in this. We've seen A.Lewis all the years, but this could be a big chance for Alan Norris to show everybody what he can do.
95.
Yep, we've seen him playing pretty well. He's achieved his tour card this year, came through qualifying school.
Yeah, 2 9-doubters as well.
Yep. First time here in the players' final. But he's a good player. Lakeside finalist. Lost out to Stephen Bunting, didn't he?
He did. His scoring though yesterday was fantastic. It was just the doubles that let him down, and all of a sudden he had 3 legs on the trot when he hit the double with the first dart. It was a strange old game. Both players missed, and then they missed big numbers,
60.
And that was the reason why the averages weren't as good as the scoring.
Loves his golf, Alan does.
He does.
And comes from Bowness. Bowness has got a famous motor museum, you know.
Is that where your car come from?
Well, mine still runs.
97.
It certainly does. Good first one. Just looking at a good setup. That last one there.
I like the motors, Alan. A harmless extravagance.
94. Alan, you require 93.
Right. Business end, 93. Finishing time. 18 leaves bullseye.
68.
Not far off.
Adrian, you require 110.
Well, had to go for the ball with Lewis lingering on 110. May stay there. No, went for the 18, so now needs double. 110. Ooh, a long way off there from AD.
Alan, you require
That's a good
25.
dart. Now, Norris 25 to hold on to his throw. Important at early stage of the competition. That's a big miss. Double 4. Oh dear, dear, dear.
Adrian, you require
Well, he was doing this
18.
yesterday, but then he came back to the board and then missed again. It was a strange old game where AD steps in there, the experience showing there.
Second against Adrian to third first. Game on.
16 darter to get things underway for Adrian. Pace very much quicker than the previous match. Michael Smith didn't seem too happy about Mansour's speed, but I guess it just goes with it, doesn't it? You've got to live with it. I mean, imagine if he'd been playing Dennis Priestley.
Well, absolutely. I mean, some players have their own pace. We've had it recently with James Wade against Barney. He was complaining about him slowing him down. I just don't understand that one bit. It's not up to your opponent to play to your advantage. They're playing against you in a gladiatorial arena. They want to beat you.
With a lot of money at stake, you find a way, don't you? Within the rules of the sport.
26.
It's almost as if they're going to complain if you keep checking out. It's crazy, really. Just get on with it. It's almost a proverbial
81.
excuse.
Norris well back in this leg. Make things look a bit better. Ady's been working hard at his game of late. As an admission, not always the hardest worker on the practice board, but he's been putting the hours in.
100.
Well, he's very popular on the exhibition circuit, AD. He's such a good lad, he really is. But it has been noticeable that
65.
over the last couple of months his game has improved.
See if he can check this one out. Oh, that's a loose one, goodness me. Oh, he's got the treble 13 for tops.
40. On the wire, and Norris, by virtue of going for the 25 with his last dart on the previous visit, has left himself the big one. Needs another. Oh, how close was that?
87.
Didn't quite get the shot at the ball.
So tops for 2-0, having already got the break. Cross we come for the 10s, now 5s. Big dart, needed that.
Well, that's the old solar plexus pain, isn't it? When you stood behind and your opponent has 3 darts at the double, misses with the first 2, pings that last one in, just as you're almost hoping for another visit to the board.
You've almost got one, almost got your weight onto the front foot, ready to move forward.
That causes more pain than maybe a big finish, strangely enough.
44.
Runner-up last year, A.Lewis. On the, what most people would say was the easier side of the draw. Got Peter Wright
93.
potentially lying in wait in the next round.
Well, Peter Wright was brilliant last week. Yesterday was very below par.
James Wade, Gary Anderson, Michael Van Gerwen, all lurking on the top half of the draw.
He's going to have to move there.
78.
The last one. Again, the loose first dart from 80, so it spoilt the throw with the second dart.
140.
Well, he's been scoring well. He's now down to what has been a little bit his Achilles heel. 80, is he going to be able to put it away this time? Needs to get into this match now, Norris.
Well, what he did yesterday, when he had a sequence of a shot like this, he was hitting it, and he's done it again. When he had 3 clear darts at the board, that's when he tended to miss.
So Norris holding on to his throw. A solid ton from Lewis.
Yeah, it was important for Alan to get that first leg on the board after the first 2. Had a chance in that first leg.
100.
Don't want to get too far behind somebody of Adrian Lewis's quality.
Won the World Cup of Darts with Phil Taylor this year, Adrian Lewis. Picked up the
60.
Auckland Darts Masters back in August as well.
Yeah, 3 good Pro Tour wins as well this year. 1 UK Open and 2 Players' Championships, and as we all know, they're very, very difficult to win.
That's where the ranking points come from for this particular event.
100.
Fairly,
Hard work comes from, isn't it?
fairly restrained crowd at the moment. I think possibly 1 or 2 sore heads out there.
A long day for a lot of people yesterday, a long day to travel down here and then get themselves settled into the darts in the evening, ready for the weekend ahead.
60.
Some great darts action in store, I am absolutely sure, over the next couple of days, and you don't get a more, in my experience, a more knowledgeable crowd than the crowd that you get here.
Well, they come for the whole weekend, they pay the package for the whole weekend of accommodation, tickets, all in one.
And by the way, without advertising where you go for these tickets, but I'm sure you can use your own initiative to work it out. 2016 Players' Championships, the tickets are available.
25.
Dear me. Tickets are available, and if you fancy it, all in, 155 quid. Not a bad weekend. Bullseye. Brilliant. 121.
Great to see the bullseye finishes. Keeping a couple of legs ahead.
Does them for fun on the exhibition boards, doesn't he? That's superb from Norris. First maximum of the match.
Yeah, it was strange that Alan Norris didn't go for the 25 tops, but he has his own way. I suppose if you do go for the bull, there's always a chance of hitting it.
Just how you see it, I guess, Alan.
But just those 1 dart at a double now and again, if they go in, great, but if you miss it, you're not getting another shot.
57.
Kind of a negative aspect. That was a good marker, that first one. Surprised with the second. He hasn't got his full range yet, despite playing pretty well.
Averages in the low 90s at the moment. You suspect that they've got another gear to go into, the pair of them.
Well, the highlight
Lewis
really is the 1-2-1 finish, isn't it? That's the highlight.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Well, that's not lying well. Good adjustment, not too big a target.
140.
Well, he's taken out 1-2-1. He's left himself 1-2-4. And Norris hasn't made any headway. Decent last one, though.
Right, he can take this for a double break interval at the end of this. He's got the first one he needed. Bullseye now for 4-1.
94.
Well, hit it in the previous leg. It's got a long way off with that one. So chance for Norris to go in at the break, 3-2. Treble 18's the first. Well, 18 again. If he hits a treble, it's double 7. Double 7. Big dart for Norris, and he's missed it.
Now, can Lewis put this one away? Will he go straight at it, or 10 double 10? Straight in, there's your answer. Small adjustment, and taken it. A body blow to big Alan Norris. And Lewis knows that's a key dart. You can see the look on his face as he leaves the stage, because at this first interval, he leads Alan Norris 4-1. A.Lewis was a big favourite to win this match, and this is his checkout of 121. Crowds love that. He knew that was top draw, the crowd responded, and A.Lewis went into the break with a 4-1 advantage. He's not really quite hit top gear yet, but he's doing what's necessary, and 4-1 tells its own story.
Well, that spells danger for Norris when you think about it. If A.Lewis is 4-1 ahead and hasn't yet hit top gear, because you feel he will do at some point. He has a couple of opportunities, Alan Norris, in that
60.
first session, particularly in that first leg, and it's important to get that base of the match, isn't it? If you start losing legs early, you're always chasing the game.
Beat Terry Jenkins in the first round. Starting to fill up here. Great arena in Minehead, 5,000 when it's packed out, and they're in party mood already. From Wales, I can only assume.
Yeah, they love it, don't they? Absolutely love it. Yeah, we'd love to see a 9. Almost had one last night from Taylor.
57.
Had one this afternoon as well, didn't we? This Suljevic.
Yeah.
I thought that was going in. And it was never going to happen with Chris Mason in the box, was it?
A Jonah, isn't he?
140.
So Lewis almost steady without being outstanding, which is all he needs to do at the moment.
134. Adrian Rupar, 149.
Norris keeping pace, but Lewis is on a finish here. Won't put it away this time. What's he going to leave?
99.
Well, that'll do.
Adrian Rupar, 150.
Wow.
135.
Would have hurt Lewis, but Lewis now for 5-1, 50.
Yeah, that notches. There's another chance for Norris. Another chance that has disappeared very quickly.
It was a big ask, but he'd done the scoring bit, left himself the double, and not to be. Missed out once more, and Lewis easing further clear. That's handy. The second of the match, Lewis yet to pick one up.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Norris's play. He's played pretty well. He's just missed a couple of opportunities at the wrong time. But back comes AD, both starting with the maximum.
Touche, mon vieux. Mons 2 and all that. We go through a full gamut of
43.
linguistic dexterity in this.
I'd just say good darts.
Arras, mate. Good on you.
134.
Seems to be just moving up his pace a little, Lewis.
100.
And the Norris throw is under pressure.
Well, he's been under pressure really from leg one. Chasing the game against a quality player is obviously very
59.
difficult, but as we said before, he hasn't yet hit full flow, and when he does, it's going to be even more difficult.
Slight opportunity miss for Lewis in that last visit.
132.
That's good from Norris, and it suddenly makes the 128 look as though he may well have to take this one out. Treble 20 for bullseye. Not going to happen. Norris well placed now to take the leg.
63.
Yeah, and he's got to take these chances now because he's missed a few in the match so far, and that'll make him feel a whole lot better by hitting it with the first dart, not just winning the leg. It should put him in good stead on the next opportunity he gets at the double.
58.
Well, Norris can throw, we know that. That's his television experience. Been at the forefront of the BDO game for a few
45.
years. First year with the PDC.
It's better.
140.
Start to score well. Over the top if you can.
60.
Not quite.
303 starting up at the top, coming down, switching.
Well, I think he checked the score with Norris on 396 because all our players do start on the 19s on 303.
$85.
He's not having to score too heavy, is he? He's not being put under pressure as much
60.
as Alan Norris probably wants it to be.
Lewis so keen to get back to where he was in the
95.
game 4 or 5 years ago. Staying where he is. Good 140.
Well, that's right. Some people may have gone for the bull with that last one. Despite being a long way ahead, only even a ton.
59.
Again, Norris not hit a treble, so he's leaving himself a big task, even if he gets the opportunity.
Tops then for 6-2.
25.
Well, it's a long way off again. Alan Norris leaving himself a mountain to climb. If he doesn't take out the 157, he'd be returning to the board with 3 darts in his hand again. And that's happening 3 or 4 legs in this match so far.
Well, it was a case of time on my side, as the man once sang. Now 2 10s for Lewis, and there you go, 6-2.
Yeah, looking good for Lewis. Not messing about too much on the doubles. 6 out of 14, which is pretty good.
140.
But what's happening is he's having a dart at the double and then still having the opportunity to return with 3 clear darts in his hand.
100.
A lot between them in terms of averages, but Lewis is just doing it when necessary. Actually, Norris slightly with the higher average, but that doesn't clearly tell the story. I guess that's a classic case of stats not always revealing the truth of the matter, and the truth is that Lewis is 6-2 up.
140.
Good 140 there as well. So nothing wrong with Norris's scoring. He's had the odd slip, but steady on the whole.
Well, there's the
Just been-
checkout percentages, and 43% Lewis. And getting them at key times as well.
It's been the last quarter of the game of the leg really for Norris, hasn't it?
81. Alan, you require
The sort of the last bit of the setup. He may only have 1 dart at double where
He had 6 from 121. Surely this is a must take now for him if he's going to somehow claw his way back in this game.
yeah, just take it 1 leg at a time. See if you can take this one on throw
115.
and then make some advances against the throw before the next break.
Couple of 8s. Minuscule adjustment, and that's a key dart. Just keeps his hopes flickering.
Oh, it's a good dart that one. Looking at the first 2 on the wire, if he'd have gone anywhere near those 2, it probably wouldn't have gone in. So he changed the angle.
85.
Went for the bottom part of the double 8, which worked. He's got to attack the throw now. going in at 6-4.
60.
From his point of view at this part of the match after his start, will be very positive for him.
Winner of this goes into the quarterfinals.
93.
Going to be facing either Peter Wright or Simon Whitlock there. It's a match we see this evening. Colourful Peter Wright. Crowds love him, don't they?
Yes,
I think they'll be looking for. They might be looking for Whitlock.
Yeah, they all like the old Australian attire. Staying back up there. Had to think about it.
25. 77.
Love the fancy dress in the audience, don't they, John? It's not every day you can speak to Superman and SpongeBob on the same day.
That was slightly scary. I do hope those were contact lenses. Otherwise, he's got a bit of a problem.
100.
It's kind of a look from the other side, that one.
Have to check what he's been drinking.
And avoid it like the plague.
Adrian required 98.
Lewis then, 98 for 7-3. Another break at the end of this. Double 12, big dart.
86.
Now then, these are the opportunities you need to take if you want to make strides in games like this. Treble 19 for the ball. He's hit it. Norris needs the ball. How close was that?
Great effort, wasn't it? Great effort. Look how close it was. Couple of sixes for Lewis. Easy as you like, straight in. And now leads 7-3. He can almost touch a place in the next round. Norris has a lot to do. And here we are playing for a place in the quarterfinals, and it is A.Lewis who leads Alan Norris by 7 legs to 3. Only 3 more needed. Statistically, in scoring terms, nothing in it, but the finishing has been better for Lewis, and therein maybe lies the difference.
Yeah, not spectacular, but from Lewis, been solid in scoring and finishing. Norris, pretty good scoring on occasions. It's the final sequences of legs which has been his Achilles heel. Missed a couple of doubles, but sometimes the setup has left himself too much to do when Lewis has been in a similar position in the leg and ended up losing the leg.
140.
That's a nice way to come back from the interval. He's just got to start notching up legs, and vital that he holds his throw here, Norris. And Lewis hitting his second maximum.
Both with 3 good darts after the break.
60.
Lewis with his second max.
See if he can build on that. Oh no, he says. Annoyed that that first dart slid off into the 5s, and it all winds up a fairly ordinary visit.
I'm sure you'll blame Keith for that one.
For the uninitiated,
60.
Keith Deller, the manager of Adrian Lewis.
That's better. That's not bad either.
Well, that's 2 maximums already in this leg. 9 darts on 96. Great response from Norris, but Lewis 2 darts away from checking out for 8-3.
Well, great leg from both players, it has to be said, but Lewis, chance of an 11-dart leg. Well, we were saying the scoring hasn't been spectacular, and that just went completely the other direction.
Well, that was wonderful, and that's what Lewis can do. Norris responded. Great visit himself, but Lewis 2 maximums and a 96 checkout. Thank you very much. 11 darts.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the leg from either player. But when you're having an 11-dart leg.
And now only 2 legs away from the quarterfinals. A bit of juggling.
100.
Yeah, all looking good for Lewis. What he's got to do is just keep his concentration.
140.
He's got himself in a fantastic position.
And moving along quite nicely. Fill it up. And he does. Thank you very much. Fourth maximum. 81 required.
Yeah,
Could be another 11 darter.
Well, yeah, both players have really started scoring pretty well. 3 180s from AD in the last 2 legs.
Good dart. Double 12 for an 11 darter. Oh, back to back. He is bringing out the heavy artillery now.
Yeah, back-to-back 11 dart legs when you're 7-3 ahead. It's not a lot you can do.
140.
Norris has only thrown 9 and 12 darts in the last 2 legs and not managed to win them, obviously.
He's not done a great deal wrong, has he? He's come out and thrown well, but Lewis, sublime.
140.
Yeah, he's increased the tempo and the scoring.
97.
1 leg away. In the quarters.
Losers at this stage take home 7,000 quid. Eventually going towards the winning target. The reward for the winner, the champion here, will take £65,000.
190.
Is it 3 180s in the last 2 legs? And there's your 4th.
145.
Well, it would be a fitting way to win this now if he could come back and throw 140. He's been hammering the big numbers since the interval. That's the first one he needs. Another one for, oh, just outside. Just checking with the referee if it was in.
$100.
Norris has to take it out. Well, you feel the end is nigh. Treble 15 for tops. Yeah, tops for Norris to stay in it.
80.
And I wonder if there his chance has gone. Lewis, 40 for the match. 1 dart required, game shot. And A.D. Lewis just upped his game after that final interval, came back-to-back 11 darters and polishing off Alan Norris in style, and his victory ultimately by 10 legs to 3. Big fella's looking as though he's moving into form, and impressively so.
Last year's runner-up, Adrian Lewis, safely through to the last 8 once again here at Minehead, beating the much-travelled debutant Alan Norris, 10-3. Well, Lady averaged just under 100 in this match, 53% success on the doubles. Norris hitting just 3 of his double attempts. And A.D. Lewis will meet the winner of the Peter Wright-Simon Whitlock match. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. Both Alan and A.D. are with Ned now.
Yeah, they are. Just reflecting on a match that almost sort of kicked off but didn't quite happen in the end. And Adrian, you know, I'd hesitate to say routine victory for you because he pushed you a bit, but
Yeah.
maybe you're expecting a harder battle from Ellen, I don't know.
Well, I was. I mean, obviously, in the end, I think it was just a professional job done at the end of the day. I think he could have gone, you know, half away early doors because none of us scoring fantastic. And he was missing a couple of doubles, and I was taking my chances. Yeah. Could have been a lot closer than what the scoreline reflected on there. So
yeah,
happy with that.
Yeah, because Alan, your scoring was kind of pretty much on a par with this man, wasn't it? And it's just that 23% doubles, the checkout success that's done you there.
Yeah, nightmare. Bit like yesterday. At least I think I had a 23% yesterday. So there you go, doubles for the weekend. I missed the 1-3-2. I think to go 6-4 at the second break.
Yeah.
And game changer. But no, like I say, Adrian, he closed out. He did a professional job. I missed me doubles. So yeah, Best of luck to him in the next round.
Well, you know, a lesser player than Adrian might well have sort of stumbled, but you know, if you give him a lead, it's hard to peg the man back, isn't it?
He's a nightmare, to be honest. It actually is the first time we played, so at least one of us has held our 100% record.
Come on,
say, yeah, no, but you know, it's a different ball game going from the back room up to there. It is, you know, it's tough up there.
Well, in all fairness, he's, you know, obviously he's just come from the BDO. He's coming over there. It's another learning curve, isn't it? You know, it's another experience. Yep. And watch him over the next couple of years and he'll be up there.
I'm going to be watching you over the next day or so because you're done and dusted. Lunchtime on Saturday, you can relax now, and then you're back tomorrow, so it's all set up nicely for you.
Yeah, watch the Marty Potters now. Can watch the Marty Potters now. Yeah, and beat Sunderland.
Do you like rugby? Do you like rugby?
I'll tell you what.
Whoa, that was below the belt. Listen, I'll leave it there and avoid any more controversy. Well done, boys. Cheers.
Yeah, he's a happy man at the moment anyway, pending the football anyway. He'll be playing the quarter-finals tomorrow, and there are plenty of people enjoying themselves at the Arrows this weekend, not just Adi. It includes the former Wales footballer John Hodson.
It's nice to come down here and have a look at the bit of the darts, and I'm a really big fan of darts anyway. I've always loved going to the shows. I've been to the Ali Pali a few times, so it's different today, but it's an afternoon I can just relax and enjoy.
Right, in the day, you know, Christmas parties for the various football clubs you played for, and there were a couple of them, weren't there?
Yes, I played for 8 clubs, yes.
Did any footballers stand out for you as darts players? Because I'm sure you all had a go, didn't you?
Yeah, some of the Welsh lads are good. Some of the Welsh national players are good. And when I was assistant manager there to Chris Coleman at the start of this campaign, for about 14 months, that we had like a little games room where the lads had a table tennis table and a dartboard.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys love their darts, you know. It's a really popular sport, and I think Aaron Ramsey was right up there, good darter.
Yeah.
Not as good as he is on the football field, but he was all right,
No.
you know. But the lads used to love it. The boys like playing darts, you know. It's great for in your spare time as well.
And yourself? Good action for a big man, so to speak?
I'm hopeless. I am absolutely hopeless.
I'll be honest.
And my wife won't even let me put a dartboard up in my house because I've got 4 small children.
Right.
And they're always around your feet and things like that. And
The risk
obviously
is too high.
in case the dart comes out and everything else. But in my old house in Birmingham, I had a dartboard there and I had the measurements right, and Craig Beattie would come across, my neighbour, Craig ex-Celtic as well. Craig would come across and we'd be there for hours, you know, but hopefully I'll get a few tips today off one of the lads, maybe, because my technique is not the best, you know.
And listen, you know, your rugby team gave England the bloody nose. You're qualified for the Euros with the football team, and there's some good Welsh talent here as well.
There is some fantastic Welsh talent coming through. I know Mark Webster has been knocked out, so he's not here today. But you know,
Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis,
I've seen them both on television, you know, and they're doing really well. So hopefully they'll keep it going and keep improving, and then maybe they can challenge the top players, you know, not too far away in the distant future.
Nice to see you, John.
Cheers,
Enjoy the day at the
pleasure,
darts.
mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.